What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jaime Cuts back in the building, bringing you another exclusive tutorial. Let's get it. This is going to be a low drop fade. Everybody's doing these. Everybody wants these haircuts right now, so I decided to do a tutorial. I'm going to give him a drop skin fade. Stay tuned. Let's get it. First thing you want to do is use your 1.5 guard open and knock down some of the bulk. As you can see, he has a ton of hair. It's extremely thick, so you want to use your 1.5 guard open to knock down a lot of the bulk. You want to just take a lot of that out the way right out the gate. That way you can come back and create your second guideline. I'm doing a low skin fade, so I'm dropping that 1.5 down in the back of the head. That way it's not leaving a hard line. Here I'm using my BabylissPro Fx liner to put my initial 0 guideline in. And since it's a drop fade, I'm going just over the ear and dropping it in the back. You want to make sure all of your guidelines are as straight as they can be and even. You don't want to have any jagged guidelines because then you're going to have a jagged looking fade. You want this blend to be crispy, baby. Then I come in with the Babyliss Fx3 shaver and get it nice and baby soft on the side. That way it's a true skin fade. So you just work your way with the aluminum foil shaver and knock it all the way down to where it's nice and soft. Once I got my first 2 guidelines, I'll go ahead and knock down some more bulk using the clipper over comb method. To be most effective with the clipper over comb method, you want to make sure you scoop your comb all the way underneath where you put the 1.5 guard. So this allows you to make a smooth transition in the fade. You're going to scoop all the hair below the 1.5 to make it an easy transition into the bulk. Always be sure to comb your hair with the grain wherever you're going to cut it. And as you can see, I start scooping underneath where I did the 1.5 guard. And I gradually work my way up, and the white comb will show you everything. So that's why I'm using it, so you guys can get a clear idea of like, okay, this is where we ended with the 1.5, and we gradually shape the fade and like transition it into the bulk. So as you can see, I just gradually work my way up from the 1.5. I'm not fully done shaping it yet, but as you can see that the blend is coming together, the bulk is going away. I like this angle a little bit better. You can see exactly what I'm cutting on this side. So you can see like I'm pulling the comb up just above where I did the 1.5 guard. So this is just going to allow me to debulk, but still not taking too much of the darkness away from the fade, because my guys just wanted all his bulk still. That's what's going on. They want the bulk, but they want the nice drop fade. So it's a lot of clipper over comb work. Stick with me, let's get it. To avoid making hard lines, make sure you have your comb angled outwards. Here I'll use my BabylissPro clipper to create my half guideline. You want to create your half guideline probably about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick, not too wide, because you don't want to go too light on the fade since it is a drop fade. So be sure to go up about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch with your half guideline. Since I'm leaving some sideburn hooks, I don't want to go with the half all the way to the sideburns. I want to leave it a little bit dark. Here I use my Absolute Alpha Gamma clipper, and I work my way underneath the half guard that I did with my BabylissPro clipper. For me, this is just an easier way to blend. My clippers just work better this way, so I use the BabylissPro to create the initial guideline, and then I use my Absolute Gamma to go downwards towards the 0. So 1/2 to 1/4 to a 0. When blending, you want to make sure you go over it at least 2 to 4 times, like to make sure it's a nice even blend. Make sure it's a nice transition. You got to check your work. Always remember to work underneath the guideline you did previously, so you don't ever want to overwork the section and go over the guideline you created. That's the purpose of the guideline. You want to stay within it for the perfect blend. Here I'm going right above the half guard that we did and we just blended with my Oster Blending comb. This allows me to get in some tighter places. That way I'm not pushing the blend higher or making it lighter. I'm able to get in a tighter spot and still blend out the fade. I find it's most effective to use the bristles all the way at the bottom of the comb to get in for the tighter spots. As you can see, I'm debulking and blending, but I'm not making it any less of a fade. It still looks dark. Here I'm using my absolute gamma clipper with the wall 1/16 guard on it open, and I'm just flaring out that bottom line that you've seen. It's just a little bit of shadow between the half guard that we did and the 1.5. So there's just a little shadow, especially after I did the clipper over comb. So I blended majority of it, but now it's just the finishing touches, the details, making sure that the transition is extremely blended. And as you can see, I'm using the edge of my clipper. I'm not really going in it too much. Just want to tap the bottom line, and remember not to overdo it or overwork your guideline. Keep it underneath your initial guideline. Here I'm just repeating the same steps, using my Oster Blending comb to get into the tighter places. Using my absolute gamma clipper, I just think the fading blade on it is very close, so I'm able to get into the tighter places and make just an overall better blend. So shout out absolute gamma and shout out Oster Blending comb. Let's get it. My guy said he wanted majority of his hair left, so I took about 1.5 inches off, about 1 inch off, more or less. I'm trying to show you a good angle here, but all you see is my big ass bear claw, so I apologize about that. But this is only if you're gonna do a trim on top. If you're not doing a trim, then just fast forward, baby. Let's get it. And you want to work your hair in sections when you're cutting it and you're trimming it down. So be sure to comb it forward, and then you want to just pull up your previous guideline so it can keep guiding you through the whole scissor cut. It should be pretty simple. If you're a decent beginner, you should be able to do this. If not, I mean, shit, there's YouTube videos for that, but you just keep pulling the hair back little section by little section, and your guideline will pop up to guide you through the whole scissor cut. Always be sure to aggressively move your client's head towards you so you can get a good look at the lineup. I usually start my lineups in the middle and then work out towards the edges. Another thing you could do just to make things a little bit easier on the lineup is you could edge up the side of the hairline first and then work from the middle. So then you'll do the sides, middle, and then work your way from the middle to the sides. So something slight. So like what I'm doing here, I'm doing the sides after because his hair was so long, so I couldn't see shit. Always try to keep a natural line. Try not to push anybody's hairline back. That's probably the most important part of the cut. Let's get it. With these haircuts, a lot of times the client wants to have a hook. Like they want to have a little bit of darkness on the edge up right there. So not necessarily having any sideburns or keeping any sideburns. This is still a skin drop fade, but you want to give them a little hook just to emphasize the lineup and emphasize the darkness on the drop fade. So stick with me, y'all. Let's get it. We're almost done, baby. Don't sleep on the hooks, y'all. The hook is what adds a little bit of to the haircut. Let's go. Ah, yes, my favorite, the straight razor work. This is by far my bread and butter. I love this shit. This is about as best as it's gonna get. After you hit this lineup, you're pretty much done. As you can see, the fade's looking spiffy and the lineup's looking crispy. Let's go. For the final product, we got a low drop skin fade for my guy. We did do a little trim on top, but it was nothing major. He wanted to keep majority of his top, just like 90% of these kids are doing nowadays. So I hope this video helped. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment below. If you like this video, if you want to see another video or a haircut that you want to see me do, let me know below, baby. Let's get it. Hymen Cuts in the flesh. I appreciate all support, and everybody stay blessed.